American Pickers star Frank Fritz's judge sets court date after conservator and guardian were almost removed from case. Hello everyone, welcome back to my another video. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. American Pickers star Frank Fritz's judge has set a court date in his conservatorship case after the guardian and conservator were recently at risk of removal. Friends of Frank, 60, filed an emergency appointment of a temporary guardian and conservator for the star on August 18, 2022, claiming his decision-making capacity was impaired after suffering a stroke in July 2021. The U.S. Sun previously reported guardian Chris Davis and conservator Midwest One Bank failed to file an annual report that was due on November 12, 2023, leaving them at risk of removal by the court. Though the reports were eventually filed in January, the U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal the judge on the case scheduled a hearing for April 4. The court papers read, "The annual reports from the conservator and the guardian come before this court, and the court finds that the same should be set for hearing. It is therefore ordered that a hearing on the annual reports shall be heard on the 4th day of April 2024. Read more on Frank Fritz. The U.S. Sun previously reported a notice of delinquency for conservatorships was filed on December 1, 2023, after they failed to file annual reports. According to court papers, penalties for failing to file the annual report include a report being made to the presiding judge, the fiduciary eyes being subject to removal, a report being made to the chief judge of the judicial district and the administrator of the judicial branch, and a report being made to the Committee on Professional Ethics and Conduct, which may result in disciplinary action being taken. The American Pickers alums conservator and guardian requested for the annual report to be sealed on January 17. Holiday spirit. Wish Jorantid. He has DDE voice. Sweet ECAP. In the joint motion to file under seal previously obtained by the U.S. Sun, Guardian Chris claimed an annual report for Frank's health and welfare has been completed. Conservator Midwestone Bank said they completed the annual report on Frank's real property and monetary assets. Because Frank is a well-known celebrity, the guardian, conservator, and Frank all jointly request that the court allow the annual reports to be filed under seal to protect the protected person's privacy and estate. The court papers read, "An Iowa judge approved the request, and the annual report and related documents are to be filed at Security Level 3. CQ and Wing. This is the second time the conservator and or guardian failed to file the proper paperwork by the due date. The U.S. Sun previously reported a notice of delinquency for conservatorships was filed on June 2, 2023. An inventory report was not filed by the due date of December 12, 2022. The report was filed later that month. Under CONSE or VA2RSA. The U.S. Sun broke the news that the conservatorship was filed in August 2022. The documents obtained by the U.S. Sun read, "Because of his stroke, Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to care for his own safety or to provide for necessities such as food, shelter, clothing, or medical care without which physical injury or illness may occur. Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to make, communicate, or carry out important decisions concerning his own financial affairs." An exhibit was mentioned in the court papers from a doctor, allegedly confirming Frank does not have decisional capacity. The legal papers continued, "Decisions must be made for Mr. Fritz's care and placement while he continues to recover and receive treatment for his injuries. Appointment of a guardian and conservator is necessary to avoid immediate harm to him." The petitioner requested a separate longtime friend of Frank's, who has been assisting him in decision-making since the stroke, be his guardian. The guardian has helped Frank with his Crohn's disease treatment and continued physical therapy. He has also helped the former American Pickers star grocery shop, cook, and get him to any activity he feels up to doing. Frank has improved today, as his pal previously told the U.S. Sun. Frank continues to improve daily. You're never 100% after a stroke, but he's fine. He's aware of what's going on. If he were sitting here right now, You could sit and talk to him. He's the same old Frank. Frank was wheelchair-bound after suffering the stroke and even had a ramp installed outside his Iowa home. The friend shared, he can walk, but he's always going to need the wheelchair because he can't walk long distances. Basically, you lose motion. He lost motion. A stroke can affect your left or your right side. It affected his right side. Frank is a private person and enjoys being totally out of the limelight. The friend said the biggest misconception about Frank is his health. The source said, he's had a stroke, but he's definitely not debilitated to the point where he can't do anything or do whatever he wants. He doesn't have any problems with that. It's just a change of lifestyle, and it slowed him down. He's the same old Frank. He has a good attitude and a great sense of humor. His mindset is positive. We crack jokes all the time. You gotta make the best of the situation, so he's come to terms with all of that. His mind is right. He's a happy guy and his sense of humor is there. He added that the conservatorship is temporary. Frank's will. The U.S. Sun previously reported Frank's lawyer filed a will prior to death on October 11, 2023. The filing was made to safekeep the American Pickers star's will, according to Iowa courts. An Iowa judge has reviewed and accepted the will. Frank is estimated to have a $6 million net worth. Missing Frank. Frank last appeared on American Pickers on a March 2020 episode. The U.S. Sun previously reported Frank is unable to return to the show over 1 year after suffering a stroke. A source close to Frank told the U.S. Sun, the stroke affected his speech, so he really can't return to the show. But you never know. There is always hope one day. A second insider told the U.S. Sun, he can't come back and film, but the cast and show want him to. The show now stars Mike Wolfe, his brother Robbie, Danielle Colby, and Jersey John Shilley. The ongoing legal saga surrounding American Pickers star Frank Fritz took another dramatic turn as a judge recently scheduled a new court date following contentious developments regarding his conservatorship and guardianship arrangements. The case, which has been a point of concern for Fritz's fans, friends, and family, highlights the complexities of care and legal control for individuals facing serious medical challenges. Fritz, who grows to fame as a co-host of the popular History Channel show, has been navigating a difficult recovery following a debilitating stroke, which has left him unable to manage his affairs independently. Frank Fritz's troubles began in July 2022 when he suffered a massive stroke that left him incapacitated. The 58-year-old television personality was found unresponsive in his home, prompting emergency medical care and a long-term rehabilitation plan. The stroke significantly impacted Fritz's cognitive and physical abilities, leading his family to seek immediate legal action to secure his well-being. In the aftermath of his stroke, Fritz's close friend petitioned the court to be appointed as his conservator, a role that would grant him authority over Frank's financial and personal decisions. Simultaneously, a guardian was appointed to oversee Fritz's day-to-day care, ensuring his medical and personal needs were adequately met. The appointments were intended to stabilize Fritz's situation and allow him to focus on his recovery without additional stress. However, conservatorship and guardianship arrangements are often fraught with challenges, especially when questions arise about the appointed individual's ability to fulfill their duties effectively and ethically. Such has been the case with Fritz's situation, where disputes have now led to a court-ordered review of the conservator and guardian roles. Recently, tensions surfaced after concerns were raised about how Fritz's conservatorship and guardianship were being handled. According to court documents, several parties involved in Fritz's care expressed dissatisfaction with the decisions made by the conservator and guardian, ranging from financial management to medical care arrangements. Sources close to the situation allege that disputes erupted over how Fritz's finances were being allocated, as well as the level of transparency in decision-making processes. Some family members and associates reportedly questioned whether the conservator was acting in Fritz's best interest or if conflicts of interest were at play. Similarly, the appointed guardian faced criticism for allegedly failing to provide consistent and reached a breaking point when motions were filed seeking the removal of both the conservator and guardian. The petitions argued that new individuals should be appointed to ensure Fritz's well-being is prioritized and his assets are safeguarded. The situation underscored the delicate nature of conservatorship and guardianship arrangements, where legal and personal tensions can collide in deeply emotional and complex ways. Amid mounting concerns, the judge overseeing the case intervened by setting a new court date to review the roles of the conservator and guardian. The hearing, scheduled for next month, will serve as a forum to address the allegations and determine whether the current arrangements should remain in place or be altered. Legal experts note that such hearings are crucial for ensuring accountability and fairness in conservatorship cases. Judges are tasked with assessing whether appointed individuals are fulfilling their duties competently and without bias. If evidence emerges that a conservator or guardian has acted improperly, the court has the authority to replace them with alternative candidates who are better suited to manage the individual's affairs. For Frank Fritz, the upcoming court date represents a pivotal moment in his journey toward recovery and stability. Supporters hope that the legal proceedings will bring clarity and resolution, allowing Fritz to receive the care and protection he needs without further disruption. Fritz's case is not unique in its challenges. Conservatorship and guardianship arrangements have gained widespread attention in recent years, particularly in high-profile cases involving celebrities and public figures. Most notably, the legal battle surrounding pop star Britney Spears brought conservatorship issues into the spotlight, sparking public debates about the potential for abuse and exploitation. In Fritz's situation, the legal framework of conservatorship was intended to provide protection during a vulnerable time. Under the law, a conservator is appointed to manage financial matters for an individual who is deemed incapable of doing so independently. Similarly, a guardian is tasked with making personal and medical decisions to ensure the individual's overall well-being. However, the potential for mismanagement, lack of oversight, and competing interests can create significant challenges. Critics argue that conservatorships and guardianships are sometimes imposed too broadly or maintained longer than necessary, depriving individuals of autonomy and control over their lives. Conversely, proponents emphasize the necessity of these legal arrangements in cases where individuals are genuinely unable to protect themselves. Frank Fritz became a household name as a co-host of American Pickers, a reality television series that follows antique and collectible pickers as they travel across the United States in search of valuable items. Fritz's on-screen chemistry with co-host Mike Wolfe, coupled with his passion for uncovering hidden treasures, endeared him to fans around the world. However, Fritz's time on the show came to an abrupt end in 2020, following a series of personal and professional struggles. His departure was initially attributed to health issues, including back surgery and struggles with Crohn's disease, a chronic inflammatory condition he has battled for years. In subsequent interviews, Fritz revealed that tensions with Wolfe and other production challenges contributed to his exit. The situation took a darker turn when news of Fritz's stroke broke in 2022, leaving fans shocked and concerned for his well-being. While Fritz's recovery has been slow and arduous, his loyal supporters have continued to rally behind him, expressing hopes for his return to health and stability. The legal challenges surrounding Frank Fritz's conservatorship have not gone unnoticed by his fans and supporters. Many have taken to social media to express concern about Fritz's situation and call for greater transparency in the handling of his affairs. Supporters emphasize the importance of prioritizing Fritz's health and recovery over any financial or friends and family members have also spoken out, offering mixed reactions to the legal proceedings. While some individuals support the current conservator and guardian, others have voiced concerns about their ability to effectively manage Fritz's care. These differing perspectives have only added to the complexity of the case, making the upcoming court hearing all the more significant. The court date set by the judge will mark a critical turning point in Frank Fritz's conservatorship and guardianship case. During the hearing, all parties will have an opportunity to present evidence and arguments regarding the performance of the conservator and guardian. The judge will then evaluate whether the current arrangements should remain intact or if changes are necessary to better serve Fritz's interests. Legal analysts suggest that the judge's decision will likely hinge on key factors such as whether there is evidence of mismanagement, conflicts of interest, or lack of transparency, whether Fritz's medical and personal needs are being met consistently and effectively, whether the current arrangements provide the necessary support for Fritz's recovery and long-term care. For Fritz, the outcome of the hearing will shape the next chapter of his life. Supporters remain hopeful that the legal process will ultimately ensure his protection and allow him to focus on his health and well-being. Frank Fritz's ongoing legal battle over his conservatorship and guardianship underscores the challenges and complexities of managing care for individuals facing significant medical and personal struggles. As the judge sets a new court date to review the case, all eyes will be on the proceedings to see how they unfold. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.